Hello, hello, it's been so long I heard this music go off. It is good, hello, and welcome to the new season. It's season 7 already, to the ultimate shit show named F1S Championship. It's been so long, guys, but we are so back with two new teams, actually three, joining up the grid. It's Lotus coming here right now, it's FMS, and also Visit Turkmenistan coming back from the dead with collaboration with Red Bull Racing coming with the amazing emblem I've ever seen in my life. Let's go and see what races are going to be seen. We had already seen the pre-season in Bahrain, and it was pretty interesting to see how teams upgraded throughout the testing. Right now we'll be in France in Bugatti Le Mans, but we'll also be in a great part of Europe, in Asia, such as North Korea and Japan, and maybe there is no Africa. Oh well, something happened. We'll start the first season right here in France, and we'll end in Silverstone, the home of the Lotus. Sadly, Brown GP and Ferrari both have left our great league, with Ferrari pulling the plug out of the project, and Brown GP having been relegated to the F2S Championship. But let's see who will triumph in the first race as we jump to the grid of the amazing series we have. It's Joshua Dirksen lining up P20 for Visit Turkmenistan RB, and Nikita Mazepin joining alongside him for Lotus. It's Oliver Goethe for FMS and Nick De Vries coming back for VTRB. Matthias Kaiser from Honda moving to Supernova for the second season. Let's hope he survives more than 2 races. And Daniel Kvyat qualifies P15. Arvid Nilblad calling 14th, and Pastor Maldonado jumps to 13th place. David Beckman, the new team from Koenigsegg, goes 12th, and Sergio Perez is in P11. Joe Guanyu coming from his really long Blake to Lotus running P10, and Gabriel Bortoleto for his debut going P9 with BB4s. Marcus Ericsson also a debutant for his garage starting P8, and Isaac Hadjar lands up on P7. Kushmaini in P6, and Oscar Piastri goes 5th. And in the top 2 rows we have Alex Palou for Gares, Fernando Alonso, current reigning world champion for the Polish team for Supernova, Charles Leclerc for Koenigsegg, and the pole position sitter, it's Lewis Sharp, the double world champion, running this time for Alpine. He has moved a lot of teams, and now he will try to succeed in another one of them. He was promising during the testing, and let's see how will this build up as we go to the track, and let's see who will triumph in today's race. As we go to Bugatti Le Mans, it's been really a long time ago since there was a race. As we jump to lights out, and away we go. It's a good start for Lewis Sharp, but Charles Leclerc alongside him. Isaac Hadjar already trying to make a move. It's Fernando Alonso on the inside line, but he's too far to get too closer to Charles Leclerc and Lewis Sharp, who has a good getaway. It's Alex Palou fighting for P4. There's Piastri going off the road, dropping places even more. Sharp still keeping up Charles Leclerc behind him. Fernando Alonso dropping back Isaac Hadjar. The two teammates of Alpine really doing really well at the start of lap 1. Charles Leclerc though keeping from Alpine 1-2 Koenigsegg up to the great start, and never mind, there goes Isaac Hadjar onto the P2. Maini also having a great first lap, running P5 as of now, keeping almost 5 cars behind him with Palou, Ericsson, Piastri and Bortoleto. And he drops into the grass, and there he goes. Joe Guanyu trying to get back into the top 10, and so is Pastor Maldonado. Lindblad finds himself ahead of Sergio Perez. So is Mazepin moving to the point zone. It's P14 for the Russian. Oh, the F2S champion doing really its best, as we see him climb up the places, and over is Isa, the constructor winner from the last season, dropping back places even more. Kaiser also having some issues with his car in Supernova driving. Hadjar now 1 second in front of second Charles Leclerc, who's keeping Fernando Alonso at bay, but he lets him by, and Charles Leclerc goes back to P4. Lewis Sharp and Fernando Alonso, there's 4 championship fighting between each other, and there goes Lewis Sharp going forward right here, right now. Oscar Piastri has managed to catch onto the P5, now on tail with Fernando Alonso. He has a bit of damage onto his car, so it was slowing down. Leclerc is on the grass. The track is being very tight for those cars, seems like. Palou, though, is doing really great at the start of the race. Bortoleto keeping up with Ericsson. Let's hope he does not have 60G crash this time around. David Beckham for his debut, keeping up top 10 for Koenigsegg, the team that was a bark marker last season. Is doing really well. Fiat is back into points, so is Dirksen and Kaiser running P13. There is a lot of damage already. We see 3 cars splitting. It's Nick De Vries, Sergio Perez and Zhou Guanyu starting first into the pits, so that's very unfortunate. Into lap 5, as Mazepin continues to slowly come places, he's keeping up by Dirksen, the VTRB, trying to catch any points at all. Pastor Maldonado is running in points. Kaiser having some good pace. There's even more cars dropping into the pit lane. There's Dirksen, Beckman, Lindblad. There's also Sharp and Piastri and Leclerc. That means that Isaac Hadjar is still in the lead and Fernando Alonso is second. He is running in this shitbox of a car in the P2. And keeping up the pace also too, with Palou trying to keep 1 second behind, 1 second into him, and Ericsson going into the pit lane for Honda. Even more drivers pitting, even more, and it's Kaiser who climbed back to EPA. There's Lewis Sharp on new hards, and Leclerc has managed to get some place. Sergio Perez from poor qualifying, currently sitting in P9. Yes, I did call the second best car on the grid a shitbox. Love you too. Nick De Vries also for VTRB, managing to sneak by for 3 points for the Austrian Uzbeki team. They're still officially Austrian though. As he still keeps up some good points. FMS also struggling with the debut. Mazepin is back where he yes. Hadjar is still leading the way. Oscar Piastri now is P2 and Palou just behind him. His tires really though used, and Charles Leclerc's chance to catch on. Lewis Sharp also looking to maybe get his third championship. Way better car, seems like. In the testing, he has stopped all the sessions he partook in, and because of his very early pit stop, he managed to undercut Isaac Hadjar, and now it's a drag race with Leclerc, who was struggling to keep up with the Alpine car, and it's now the New Zealander who keeps the lead of the race. But Leclerc dives on the inside line. It's Koenigsegg fighting for the lead of the race, and it goes. Leclerc still keeping up. The Monegasque driver doing its really best to catch Lewis Sharp. Nothing, and he gets ahead, and it's now Monegasque driver to the top, but Lewis Sharp right behind him. Both cars really trying their best to keep up with each other. Sharp having that inside line, but Leclerc gets by. Koenigsegg driving miraculously. Sharp with a mistake, letting Leclerc try to escape for P2, as Piastri still keeps up the first place for himself, managing to gap of both fighting drivers of Sharp and Leclerc. Really trying his best. Mazepin still P20. Kaiser is outside of the points for Supernova. Meanwhile, his teammate Fernando Alonso is running in P7, chasing Gabriel Bortoleto for any positions. As Hadjar now fighting with Leclerc, he has dropped back the pace from Lewis Sharp, and it's now Ericsson has caught up to him. Soon there will be Bortoleto and Alonso possibly, as Ericsson makes a move on the inside line on Leclerc. And it's now P5 for the Monegasque driver. Now Brazilian and the Spaniard having a bit of a squabble between them on each other. And Supernova seems like to be struggling a pace on a little bit on this Bugatti circuit, but Alonso really gets through easily. Let's see if that comes up. Palou has dropped back a little bit to P8, and it's Lindblad who is now into the top 10. And Fiat, what happened with Over Isa? What happened to Over Isa? Constructors champions, by the way. here we go, P11, with Matthias Kaiser, the second driver for Supernova, chasing the Russian man. Is he going to overtake over I say yes he can. He slips through the gap in the Russian defense. The torpedo isn't really torpedoing in this race as he drops back to P12. It is now Kaiser the opportunity to climb even higher, and he gets in the top 10, overtaking Arvid Lindblad, but the Swedish, British, I don't know what we want to call them, Lindblad manages to sneak by and get back the top 10, as Ericsson has dropped back a little bit after a pit stop round, and he is now behind Maini. Lewis Sharp also on his very new soft, struggling to keep up with Gabriel Bortoleto, but he's not going to slide, and he manages to use that opportunity to get in front of Gabriel Bortoleto. Leclerc having to slam the wall to enter the pit lane. A very good strategy, I recommend. As Fernando Alonso, he is catching Isaac Hadjar, Napi on the old soft, and Fernando Alonso moves into the first position, and he claims the lead of the Grand Prix as of now. Though Oscar Piastri on his new set of cars, he's really chasing him, and other drivers in the top 3, he's staying out. Isaac's coming in, and Palou is been overtaken by the Australian. The lead is not going to last long with those horrendous tires coming in for the Supernova driver. Oh, what a drift! It's not Tokyo drift. There's no Grand Prix in Tokyo, sadly. Unless you want, though. Honda has decided to keep racing in Fuji because it's fun, I guess. Piastri now makes a leap for the lead of the race. It's been said that Alpine should have the dominating car for this race, but seems like Piastri has come back to his form. He has the one season beforehand with McLaren, Ferrari, the fuck you wanna call them, and he has been struggling. There is no win on his account whatsoever, so it's the greatest shot he has on the leading the Grand Prix as Fernando Alonso overcutting those cars. I don't know if he's going to make it work as Cher tries to keep on the outside of Sharp, goes into the grass, and into the pit lane he goes, with hitting the wall, of course. Anywho, as he drops back even more, Ericsson now fighting Palou for P3. Gades surprisingly decided to not partner with Honda this time around, and they are doing well, I guess. Palou P4 and Maldonado P15 right now, jumping into the pit lane. Kaiser on the new set of softs, fighting Fiat and Mazepin, and he is trying to chase as much as he can. The grid has spread out a little bit, and they are trying their best to catch on to one another. Sharp has pitted, and he's going soft. There's still half a race remaining. Let's see how that turns out. There's still no rain in sight, sad, because it would be very funny to see everyone slide out of circuit like that. This is the first Grand Prix for Bugatti, so I hope we'll see some more action coming on, as there is a bit of a train coming into the bottom top 10, with Guan Yu having a squabble with Lindblad, Sergio Perez also passing through the Greek car, and Nick De Vries looking for any spot up there. Daniel Kvyat and Sergio Perez, they are really struggling to get any pace into the car. Very surprising to say the least. They have been the leader, though the development of the car has halted to the last round, which led to bottling the 20-point lead and giving the championship to Fernando Alonso, who is now going to be adding P3 with 3 seconds to 3 seconds to Isaac Hadjar, and Lewis Sharp just behind him on his new set of softs. As his teammate Kaiser is driving really well. Those softs aren't really new anymore, but he is driving really well, sitting at P12 for now, trying to catch Daniel Kvyat. He does slowly make a difference, less and less, coming closer and itching, going on the inside, and the cornerback Kvyat has a better exit and gets in ahead of the Liechtensteiner. How do you say that? Liechtensteiner? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, welcome to my English lesson. Anywho, Leclerc has qualified P2. He is now running P9 after a pit stop, after one pit stop ahead of the others. And kind of unfortunate to him, but he has a lot more pace than the cars Ahead of him, Kushmaini is struggling to control the car. In front of him, BB4s. I thought personally they would have a bit more competitive cars. Kushmaini now 6 seconds behind Paulo, who is 2 seconds behind Ericsson, Sharp, Piastri, and Fernando Alonso forming a train up there as Piastri dives. A very brave dive from the Australian on the new set of softs as Alonso and Sharp still keeping up the train going. And there's the Alpine driver getting on the inside of the line of Alonso, and he gets. No, he defends the position well, but there's a back marker of Oliver Getke who stops Alonso's momentum and making him struggle to overtake. It gives chance for Ericsson to catch on, and both goes past the back marker, but it's Alonso behind and Ericsson now ahead on much fresher hard tire compound. And it is a podium for a Swede, as still Piastri leads the way. Hajar with very old hards. Piastri with new set of softs has to pit one more time. I think hards could lead till the end if they strategize properly. And it's decision for Isaac Hajar to go hards one more time. Alonso, interesting alternative strategy, going for softs to pit one more time, probably lap 29 or 30 if it could be possible. It's currently 1-2 for Honda. It's been a while, I missed you, buddy. And it's Piastri leading the way, and Ericsson having a great run into the P2. It's a Lewis Sharp who is on new set of cards, and he's going to keep those cards till the end if he gets lucky. And it's Isaac Hajar right behind him. Fernando Alonso on a new set of softs, trying to use those tires as much as he can to catch the difference to Isaac Hajar, trying to also avoid the lapped cars. Oh my god, there is so many lapped cars. I thought there would be a lot of them. As there is still cloudy weather over French circuit, Ericsson being held up by Pastor Maldonado, and Lewis Sharp hits the Maldonado in the back, and it gets into the second position as Ericsson goes for a late pit stop, not overcutting his tires. He goes medium, very interesting, and there's still 8 laps to go, and Alonso's now really trying his best constantly to keep up with Isaac Hajar, though his pace is not so great. Piastri still leading the way, both Alpines looking to get a 2-3, a double podium for the French team at their home, but it still would be a bit bitter knowing that they failed to go pole to win with Lewis Sharp. As Piastri goes for a pit stop, he is going hard, very safe, I would say, as he emerges into the lead of the race. One more pit stop, I believe, staying for Lewis Sharp if he decides to go onto the soft compound with 4 or 5 laps to go. And it's Piastri still now behind Isaac Hajar. He bottled 2 titles already. Is he going to bottle a 3rd title this season with 8 laps to go? He's trying to keep Piastri behind to help his teammate. Not really though. Piastri gets ahead on the straight, and there goes their chances for 1-2 as of now. Piastri driving really well. Those cars must last till the end now though, as Lewis Sharp has only less than a second gap to Oscar Piastri, who is really performing out today for Honda's Alonso, having a small squabble with Zhou Guanyu in P15. And really trying his best. Ericsson for Honda running on mediums for P5. Follow also a good race for him, I would say, going P6 for Gares, and there goes the set pit stop for Alonso. Mediums. Okay, very interesting choice by the current world champion. Emerges P6 on the medium tire compound. He is looking to get till the end on the 4-stop race, and he is managing to catch Paulo rather easily and makes a very smooth overtake onto the top 5. But the gaps are really huge, so they would need some really big pace loss for everyone in the top to let him go by into the top 3, as Sharp trying his best to catch Oscar Piastri. His tires are dying already, so it's Isaac Hajar, they're losing pace. It's Piastri getting further and further away for both Alpines, who are struggling the grip, seems like so, as both of them going for a pit stop. Very interesting, giving Ericsson, no, it's Alonso. Alonso is too far ahead, too far behind, but is he going to get any chance to get some positions from this. He gets Ericsson, but he does not get Alpine. Alpine cars, who is now on soft tire compound. They could try and catch Piastri, though it's 10 seconds to catch in 3 laps, and those tires are not going to die till the end of the race. Alonso now running smooth P4 in his, with his mediums, and not being able to catch Alpines on his new set of softs. Ericsson behind him for Honda, having a really good debut race as a rookie in this league. Leclerc running P6 for Koenigsegg, doing really well. Palou behind him on the new set of softs, coming closer, inching closer. It's edging, and there goes Palou on Leclerc. There have been no squabble whatsoever. Leclerc in trouble with grip on his new Koenigsegg car after the new set of regulations came in. Maini keeping the top 8 for alive for BB4s, and Perez magically appearing in the P9. He's been lapped. He has been lapped by Piastri already. Very interesting development as Bertoletto is keeping P10 for the Fijian team. Kvyat is P11, De Vries in points, Beckman as well, and Kaiser running P14 for the Supernova, though he is trying to hunt for more than 1 point. Guan Yu is outside of points, so it's Lindblad, Maldonado, Mazepin, Dirksen, and Goethe for FMS. Yes, you know, his tires are slowly making. He lost 5 seconds already to Isaac Hadjar. Those tires also are slowly dying as we are going to follow the lead of the race. It's 3 seconds, the gap is melting. I don't think though it's going to be any chance now as Piastri makes the final corner, and it's going to be his first win in F1S, and it's Oscar Piastri who wins the French Grand Prix, and it's Isaac Hadjar who finished second, and Lewis Sharp goes third. Ericsson managed to get very good P4 in his debut, and it's Alonso coming off as P5, almost lapping his teammate in the process. Palou finishes P6, and it's Leclerc, after a very long fight with his car, securing P7 for the Koenigsegg team. Really good from him, as it's Bortoletto P8 and Perez managing to snatch P9 from Maini's hands at the last corner, and it's Kvyat coming P11, and Kaiser is really fighting Fernando Alonso to not get lapped by his teammate, pushing him a little bit to the grass and finishing P12 for the Polish team. And it's Beckman P13 and Zhou Guanyu finishing points at P14. Sadly, no points for either VTRB or FMS for both new teams. Well, it's certainly be very interesting. For a very interesting first race. Really enjoyed commentating. It's something that not really happened very often, as there were some boring races in France and Paul Ricard. But here we are as Oscar Piastri wins his first Grand Prix at debut with Honda, which he couldn't do the entire season with Ferrari, as Isaac Hadjar finishes second with the fastest lap, and Lewis Sharp comes third. Ericsson fourth, Alonso's fifth with a shitbox of a car. P6 is for Palou, 7th is for Leclerc. Bortoletto and Maini both into the top 10 with BB4's, good result for them, and Perez squashed in between them into P9 for Overijse. P11 is for Kvyat, and P12 is for Kaiser. P13 is for Beckman, and P14 is for Guan Yu. P15 De Vries, 16th is Maldonado, 17th is Dirksen, 18th is Lindblad, 19th is Mazepin, and P20 goes for Oliver Goethe. Let's actually stop talking and actually hear the anthems of the winners. For the first time in the F1's history, we are going to hear the Australian national anthem for Oscar Piastri and the very well known Japanese anthem for the legendary constructor being Honda.